Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. Al Jazeera report. Ex-Goldman Sachs execs to testify in gender discrimination case. Two former top Goldman Sachs executives must testify in one of the biggest gender discrimination cases in Wall Street history, a federal judge ruled. U.S. Magistrate Judge Robert W. Lehrburger on Tuesday denied a move by the bank to block pre-trial depositions of former Chief Executive Officer Lloyd Blankfein and former President Gary Cohn, ruling in favor of a group of women who claim they were denied equal pay and promotions by the bank.
Deutsche Welle report. U.S. hits Google with landmark antitrust case. The U.S. Department of Justice and 11 states on Tuesday filed an antitrust lawsuit against Alphabet Inc.'s Google, claiming it acted unlawfully to maintain its position in search and advertising on the Internet. The lawsuit marks the U.S. government's most significant act to protect competition since its groundbreaking antitrust case against Microsoft Corp. In 1998, that was credited with clearing the way for the explosive growth of the Internet.
BBC report. Jamal Khashoggi, journalist's fiancé, sues Saudi Crown Prince. Hatice Cengiz and the rights group Khashoggi formed before his death are pursuing Mohammed bin Salman and more than 20 others for unspecified damages. Khashoggi was killed by a team of Saudi agents during a visit to the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, in 2018. The Crown Prince has denied ordering the killing. Khashoggi was a prominent critic of the Saudi government and had been living in self-imposed exile in the U.S., frequently writing for The Washington Post.
Al Jazeera report. Total's Uganda oil projects hurt tens of thousands, NGOs. Tens of thousands of people in Uganda and Tanzania have been hurt by human rights violations linked to Total's oil operations in Uganda, according to two French activist groups. Amis de la Terre France, Friends of the Earth, and Survival are seeking a court order requiring the company to disclose how it is addressing the alleged adverse impact of its activities, citing an obligation to do so under French law.
Deutsche Welle report. U.S. and Russia ready to freeze number of nuclear warheads. The U.S. was ready to meet with Russia immediately and finalize an agreement on nuclear weapons, the State Department said on Tuesday. We expect Russia to empower its diplomats to do the same, the U.S. officials said in a brief statement. The two countries seek a way to keep the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, New START, alive past its expiration date in February 2021. The deal limits the number of deployed nuclear warheads, missiles, and bombers.
CNN report. Why that viral Utah ad is so incredibly appealing. On Tuesday morning, the two candidates running to be the next governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, the Republican, and Chris Peterson, the Democrat, appeared in an ad together. Yes, you read that right. The Republican and Democratic nominees for governor of Utah were in the same ad, just 14 days before voters have to choose between them. The ad, which you can see here, features the two men trading lines.
BBC report. Taiwan charges Chinese captain over killing of Somali pirates. The four were shot dead in the Indian Ocean in September 2012. The killings came to light after mobile phone footage of the incident was posted online. Prosecutors say the suspect, a Chinese national, admitted ordering the killings while captaining the Taiwanese vessel. The suspect said the alleged Somali pirates shot at his boat and three other boats fishing in the area, before one of the fishing boats managed to knock the men into the sea.
CNN report. Judge rules Breonna Taylor grand juror can speak publicly about proceedings. A Kentucky judge ruled Tuesday that a grand juror may speak publicly about the case presented by the state attorney general against police officers who served a no-knock warrant at Breonna Taylor's home the night she was killed. Jefferson County Circuit Court Judge Annie O'Connell wrote in her opinion that justice requires disclosure of the grand jury proceedings in this case. There exist additional interests to consider in making this decision. The interest of the citizens of the Commonwealth of Kentucky to be assured that its publicly elected officials are being honest in their representations. The interest of grand jurors, whose service is compelled, to be certain their work is not mischaracterized by the very prosecutors on whom they relied to advise them. And the interest of all citizens to have confidence in the integrity of the justice system, O'Connell wrote.
Deutsche Welle report. Curfew in Lagos as riot police deployed across Nigeria. The Nigerian state of Lagos has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Tuesday in response to nationwide protests over police brutality. Demonstrations have been taking place over the past 2 weeks following widespread claims of kidnapping, harassment and extortion by a police unit known as the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS). The curfew would apply to all parts of the state, including the metropolis of Lagos, the governor said.
Fox report. Tropical Storm Epsilon forecast to become hurricane, pass near Bermuda. The latest tropical storm is expected to become a hurricane by the time it gets closer to Bermuda later this week, with forecasters saying the island could feel some impacts. The National Hurricane Center (NHC) said as of 5 a.m. EDT that Tropical Storm Epsilon is packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour and is located about 765 miles southeast of Bermuda, moving east-northeast at 3 miles per hour. Epsilon formed on Monday, becoming the 26th named storm of the busy 2020 Atlantic hurricane season.
Al Jazeera report. Judge orders speedy release of Ghislaine Maxwell transcripts. Transcripts of interviews lawyers conducted with the ex-girlfriend of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein should be released as soon as possible, a judge ordered on Tuesday. U.S. District Judge Loretta A. Priska said the transcripts of 2 days of depositions in 2016 of British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell and related documents, along with the deposition transcript of an anonymous accuser, should be released publicly as soon as is practicable.
Fox report. Convicted killer Peter Madsen arrested after prison escape attempt. The Danish inventor who is serving a life sentence in the murder of a Swedish journalist escaped from prison Tuesday by threatening that he was wearing a bomb, but was quickly surrounded by police, according to local reports. Peter Madsen is seen on a video posted by the tabloid Extra Bladet surrounded by snipers as he sits on a grassy patch at the side of a road in Albertsland. A reporter with the outlet reported that he was wearing a belt-like device around his waist.
BBC report. Coronavirus. German Alpine region goes into lockdown. The 105,000 people of Berchtesgadener land, bordering Austria, will only be allowed to leave home for essential reasons for the next 2 weeks. Like much of Europe, Germany is confronting a sharp rise in infections. But the situation remains less severe than in other major Western European countries. This compares to rates of 159 for Italy, 339 for the UK, 427 for France and 343 for Spain. But the local infection rate in Berchtesgadener land, part of the state of Bavaria, has hit 273 per 100,000 over the past week, which is why the fresh lockdown, being called a circuit breaker, has been imposed.
CNN report. Yes, you can still get a raise in a pandemic, if you play it right. Editor's note. A version of this story appeared in CNN's Work Transformed newsletter. To get it in your inbox, sign up for free. Here. This was going to be your year to shine at work. You were ticking all the boxes to get the raise you deserve. And then the pandemic happened. Now what? You're still working hard and outperforming, but can you really ask for a raise in the middle of all this? Here's what the experts told me. Read the room. If there have been massive layoffs, salary reductions or a hiring freeze at your company, it's going to be harder to make your case and it might make sense to wait.
CNN report. Fearing a loss, GOP senators keep distance from Trump and begin to ponder party's future. For 4 years, Republican senators have shrugged off President Donald Trump's constant string of controversies and scandals. They've ignored his Twitter outbursts and endless grievances. And they've avoided confronting him, while voting mostly in lockstep for his agenda and protecting him during his impeachment trial. But 2 weeks until Election Day, GOP senators are beginning to come to grips that Trump's reign in Washington could soon come to an end.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. Recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.